It passes through one of the most impressive regions of the world with its unique people, natural environment, culture and history. Villages it passes by, mountain ranges, rivers and valleys it crosses, each has a different story. Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan crude oil pipeline is a peerless world project. Entering Turkey near Post of Ardahan, BTC reaches the Mediterranean at Ceyhan, following a 1,076 km long impressive journey. BTC is one of the most comprehensive energy investments undertaken in Turkey. It is a world project with the highest social, environmental and engineering standards to date. As the operator of the BTC project, BP played the leading role in protecting the natural environment around the pipeline since the beginning of the construction. Also, BP contributed a great deal to sustainable development of the communities close to the pipeline. As a company with corporate citizenship responsibility that respects the environment and the people, BTC launched a comprehensive community investment program starting from the construction period. After assessing the best course of action for playing an active role in the sustainable development along the pipeline route, BTC decided to collaborate with NGOs and local communities. Projects that addressed local needs and conditions were jointly developed and implemented. BP, BTC's operator, coordinated the investment program. BTC's community investment program is quite different from the measures taken to mitigate the impact of the pipeline construction. As the program entailed additional activities, it was undertaken by a new team and additional budget. To date, nearly $15 million was provided to the settlements in the Turkish section of the pipeline as grants. BTC's community investment program aimed to support sustainable social and economic development from the very outset. It was therefore important that the contribution made by the projects should be measurable. Through the requests for proposals made in 2003 and 2004, the Community Investment Program provided support to the construction period projects until the end of 2006. During this period, priority social infrastructure projects were launched initially in order to gain the local population's confidence and to enable their participation in long-term projects. A total of 350 projects, including drinking water fountains and school repairs, were undertaken in all the villages along the BTC route. Soon after that, long-term projects that would support local and economic development were launched. In all the projects undertaken, support was obtained from the villagers, the state and private sector, and the activities were completed through joint efforts. The construction of the BTC pipeline was completed in mid-2006 and the pipeline became operational. BTC's Community Investment Program continues to undertake sustainable development projects during the operational phase as well. During this period, the focus is on income-generating activities. Exit strategies are determined and efforts for ensuring sustainability are increasing. BTC's Community Investment Program is implemented in 10 provinces along the pipeline route. The International Blue Crescent Foundation, Sürkal, Atatürk University and PAR Consulting are the implementing partners of this program. The main livelihood in those lands where only a single harvest can be reaped in a year is animal husbandry. This is Damal near Ardahan. This settlement, which is one of the poorest in Turkey, is near the BTC pipeline. As in many places in northeastern Turkey, milk production is an important source of income in Damal. But reaching the buyers directly and selling milk at a reasonable price is an ongoing problem here. The International Blue Crescent Foundation, that has been implementing BTC's community investment program in the area since 2003, observed this problem locally. We asked Ercan Balcı, whom we met at Damal and surrounding villages development cooperative, about sectoral difficulties in rural areas. As the International Blue Crescent Foundation working with the BTC project, how did you observe this problem about collecting milk in the area?
Burada temelde bir örgütlenme sıkıntısı var.
The farmers cannot get organized and set up the structure necessary for marketing their dairy products. As far as we are concerned, that is just a tool. The main thing is for the producers to develop an organization enabling them to market their dairy products and act jointly, putting together a structure that will protect their interests. That is our main aim. So rather than undertaking an investment here, we are in touch with the Damal cooperative for a capacity enhancing venture.
Faaliyetinden ziyade bir kapasite geliştirme faaliyeti olarak biz Damal Kooperatif ile temas halindeyiz.
The International Blue Crescent Foundation has helped Damal Cooperative to set up a milk collection system. In summer months, the cooperative's milk collection tanker visited the villages and districts in the area collecting milk. Cooperative Director Erdoğmuş told us they overcame the cash advance problem by the help of BTC Community Investment Program.
Mandıralar alıyorlardı. Sütü mandıralar çok düşük fiyatlardan alıyorlardı. Hijyen şartlardan.
Dairy farms were buying milk at very low prices. They were also not collecting the milk in hygienic conditions. We decided that we could do it ourselves, but we had to pay the producers cash advances. This is the method put in place by dairy farmers. The producers received cash advances in October and started delivering milk in June. The International Blue Crescent Foundation said they would pay the cash advance to producers. We said all right, and they gave us the necessary amount. So we did our calculations, visited the villages, made the advance payment to the villagers in cash.
Ve köylere avans olarak verdik.
The cooperative was originally set up in 2004, and it became fully operational in 2007 thanks to the milk collection project. The driver of the milk collection tanker, Musa Erdemir, used to be a village headman, and he knows the local people quite well. As he drives along his daily route, he also checks the people's reactions.
Bir problem çıkarsa sizlere vermiş olduğumuz defterlerin üzerinde bizim kooperatifin telefonu var. Biz Mavi Hilal Vakfı'nın vermiş olduğu şu araçla
with this tanker we rehabilitated the villagers' working system. We are trying to give the best possible services so that we can sustain this operation in the future as well.
en güzel hizmeti vermeye çalışıyoruz.
The villagers also received health and hygiene training as part of the project.
İnekleri sağıyoruz, tertemiz sütünü
We milk the cow in hygienic conditions and deliver to the milkman. We tell him to cover the container so that no dirt gets in.
veriyoruz.
Hasta olan ineğin sütünü
We never deliver the milk from a sick cow. When we make yogurt for ourselves, we boil it a bit longer so that the microbes are killed. Otherwise, disease breaks out and it's contagious. And we wash our hands using soap.
Most of the income is set aside for children who want to go to school.
We spend the money we make on our children's education. Then there is money for the shuttle bus, money for the janitors. We need this income.
Cooperative Director's biggest dream is to set up a big dairy in Damal and to process the milk from the surrounding villages in hygienic conditions. The International Blue Crescent Foundation also taught villagers how to produce honey within the framework of the investment program. The area has extremely suitable conditions for beekeeping. However, beekeeping is not developed since there isn't adequate support provided to beekeepers. Within the framework of the BTC project, the International Blue Crescent Foundation cooperated with the Ministry of Agriculture's beekeeping station.
Arılarımızı onların isteği doğrultusunda
In line with their requests, we distributed our bees to 4 villages to 31 families in Damal. We gave each family 15 bees so as to enable an economically feasible small business.
işletmesi nitelikli olması bakımında
Within this framework, 39 socio-economically disadvantaged women were determined in Damal and its villages. First, theoretical training was given and later around 600 beehives were distributed. Producers seem pleased with this new field of business.
Next year, I would like to raise 50 hives. I will give up animal raising and I will fill this place up with bees.
In order to solve the marketing problem, BTC and the International Finance Corporation started supporting Temar'ı, a company that is a pioneer in Turkey in marketing organic honey. Thus, the aim is to produce organic honey in Damal area and to market this honey throughout Turkey over Istanbul via a professional company. Sürkal, BTC's implementing partner in the community investment program, initially focused on animal husbandry and agriculture as they were the basic livelihoods in the area.
Our artificial insemination work undertaken to improve the genetic characteristics of animals was met with great interest by the villagers. We've also made great strides in feed plants, which is a subsection of animal raising, especially in cockshed and clover seeds. We started cultivating in large fields. We also believe we've done some important work with the villagers and the local authorities to solve the problems of the villages in the areas of drinking water, animal drinking water, and diverting wastewater to areas outside the villages.
One of the most pressing problems of Eastern Anatolian people who spend most of the winter under extremely harsh weather is non-diversified nutrition. People in the region mainly consume meat products. Although an effort was made to plant vegetables, success has been limited so far.
When I planted this, they were hit by rain and hail and nothing grew. I had planted flowers, tomatoes and cucumbers, but they were all gone due to rain. It's only good when there's a greenhouse.
When Sürkal officials observed this need, they encouraged the establishment of greenhouses. As a result of the work that was launched in 2005, greenhouses were set up in 3 villages in the first year. In this project, Sürkal obtained the support of the United Nations Development Programme in addition to that of BTC. Following the success of the first year, at the end of 2007, a total of 232 greenhouses were built. The frames of the greenhouses were set up by the villagers and they were completed by Sürkal, which also provided the saplings.
We benefited from it. We consumed fresh vegetables in our kitchen and our children loved it. It was very beneficial, so it's a good thing.
Sürkal started using this experience gained in these projects in other regions along the pipeline route.
Such participative rural development initiatives in the small villages have to follow a process-oriented approach. You learn something at every stage. For instance, the experience gained in Kars was reflected in the work undertaken at other project sites. As a result, the program in Sivas was more realistic, and resources and other elements were used more effectively. I believe the initial indicators present a promising picture to us and tell us that these activities can be sustainable.
Growing strawberries in the Erzurum plain. Experts say the villagers would not have believed them if we talked about it a few years ago. Tekin Oraş from Erzurum University Faculty of Agriculture assesses the production with a farmer who has grown strawberries in a 7,000 square meter field on Dapan Plain.
We determined leader farmers in the local area because in this initiative, being a volunteer is very important. A typical farmer does not believe in anything that he does not actually see. Therefore, the leader farmers have to be a bit bold.
In 2005, Hakkı Çolak decided to grow strawberries within the framework of the BTC Community Investment Program, with the encouragement of Atatürk University. He started farming when he retired from public service. Initially, he ran into some problems, but he was successful at the end of the second year.
In 2005, the Faculty of Agriculture supported me with 24,000 saplings. I did quite a lot myself as well. We have just added 24,000 saplings. We always had the support of the professors and other friends at the university. There is a total land area of 160 to 170,000 square meters. Presently, I use 7,000 square meters. If I have the means, I will go up to 20,000 square meters.
The cool Erzurum plain, where strawberries are being grown for 6 months starting in June, has ideal conditions for such fruits. The project team also started marketing initiatives. Villagers met no difficulty in selling their strawberries in the local market.
We talked to the local farmers. Since this is a relatively new crop, farmers are not very enthusiastic about it. However, I believe we are going to overcome that obstacle in time.
As a result of samples being taken from the product and the leaves, farmers will have the right to sell organic products next year. Yet another agricultural plant not known in these lands is canola. Dr. Metin Turhan is explaining to the villagers this miracle plant canola, which they have been piloting cultivation for a year at the university farm. Canola is among the most important agricultural plants in producing biofuels. Diesel oil is made from the seeds of canola, which is very rich in oil, while its stalks provide a nourishing animal feed.
The most important feature of this plant is that after you take away the seed, which is used to produce biodiesel, the remaining stalks can be used as animal feed. This means that it is of a higher quality than the feed plants like clover and cockshed, which is normally grown in our area and already have a high quality protein content.
Atatürk University experts also applied technical support given by the Provincial Agricultural Directorate.
Our technical staff are already serving in the province, and the contracted personnel are even working in the villages. We are also providing farmers technical support. Also financially, we direct the resources of the special provincial administration to villages through which the BTC pipeline is passing. Therefore, we're trying to realize the project jointly with BTC.
Thanks to the community investment program BTC is leading, initiatives to establish lasting income-generating activities in all regions through which the pipeline passes have been launched. New plants are added to the ones that have been traditionally planted for generation, and thus the income level of local people have increased. In the rural area, there is a heavy workload on women. They work both in the field and at home looking after the children and doing household chores. But Turkish women are hardworking. Cognizant of this fact, BTC teams realized a series of investment projects designed to develop the knowledge, skills and income level of women in the rural areas. Erkadın Cooperative, founded by women living in Erzincan area, started its activities in 2004. While leading the initiative for women entrepreneurship, BTC's implementing partner, Par Consulting, has provided training on creativity, business plan development and marketing.
Frankly, we had a really hard time initially. It was difficult enough to even bring women to the training courses. We used to pick them up one by one from their homes and take them to the training. Because you are an outsider there, they do not trust you.
The cooperative in Çadırkaya was set up with only 7 members in 2005. Women who were aware of their skills in embroidery and sewing decided to set up a textile shop.
In fact, their training was geared for the use of the plain machines that were not the type used in the industry. We advised them to produce industrial products, and we selected their machines with that in mind. We also provided a course specially geared for this activity.
Instead of staying at home, I could come here and work. Now I don't want to sit at home at all. I keep thinking of this place. The next morning I wake up and look forward to going to work again.
Erkadın Cooperative in Çadırkaya town has 20 regular workers today.
Şu an fazla açılmadık ama
At the moment, we are not selling our products to outside customers very much yet, but the townsfolk buy it. Orders from other towns started and interest is increasing.
artık diyor bundan sonra de müşteri de buluruz.
In late September or early October, when field work is over, women spend their time working in the textile workshop in winter months. Erkadın workers use quality fabrics and pay attention to local taste.
Our aim is to turn this place into a factory. We as local women really want it so much.
The Erkadın project has another shop in the nearby Harmantepe.
Belirli işlerle başladı. İlk başta doktor önlükleri.
We first started off with making doctor's coats. Then we started making locally sewed knitwear skirts and baggy pants for women. We will then start manufacturing pajamas used in this area by women. We actually aim to mass produce in large numbers. We are looking forward to bigger orders from institutions. We made trousers and skirts for high school students ordered by the sub-governorship.
Sürdürülebilir olabilmesi için zaten
For it to be sustainable, it has to be able to continue after we move out. That was important for us. At this stage, we can see that it's happening. They can somehow do their market research themselves. They can establish links with companies. They can meet their own costs. I believe that is the first step towards sustainability.
sürdürülebilirlik için ilk adım diye düşünüyorum.
The BTC pipeline also passes through the Kayseri region, renowned for its fertile land and delicious cuisine. Par Consulting, which implements BTC's community investment program in the region, firstly conducted research for development projects.
Kayseri'de ne yapılabilir? What could be done in Kayseri? Mantı, similar to ravioli, is a kind of pasta. We spoke to women in the region and did some research. We found out that there is a big market.
Par Consulting set out by obtaining the usage rights of a derelict government building in Sarız sub-province for a period of 5 years. The infrastructure of the building was refurbished from scratch and a hygienic environment was created. Hanımeli Women's Cooperative started producing the region's renowned pasta products in hygienic conditions using natural ingredients.
Şu anda mantı, ilk denemelerimiz mantı üzerine oldu.
Our initial trials were on mantı. Then we produced erişte, which is a kind of local noodle. We produced it plain and also flavored with various herbs such as sage, tomatoes and chili pepper.
Bu işe 2 sene önce
2 years ago, ISEL first made us aware of this business. We came and signed up for it, but there were those who didn't. They said it will not work. We are doing our best to make it happen.
elimizden geldiği kadar üstünde de duruyoruz.
The cooperative, which initially sold to customers in and around Sarız area, is now negotiating with big companies and trying to increase its production. Their aim is to be able to sell mantı and erişte using natural ingredients throughout Turkey.
Our aim is to work with 250 women in the future. Now we have 37 people working and it's still small, but we consider ourselves like a small child who has just started walking.
All of the meticulously made products made with great care and labor under hygienic conditions reflect the color and taste of the Kayseri region. If Hanımeli Women's Cooperative consolidates its success in production in the marketing area as well, it will increase its members' income considerably. Hikmet Peltek planted a completely new plant, not in his own land he inherited from his family, but in leased land this year. The young farmer, who was just introduced to broccoli, reaped a successful harvest as early as the first year. The International Blue Crescent Foundation experts first introduced broccoli to the farmers. An agricultural engineer with the foundation says before the project the farmers had not even seen a picture of broccoli.
We assured them for sales, because our research showed us that both in Maraş and close by towns that broccoli is very popular due to its impact on health. Its market value is high, so people also place their trust in us and set up these broccoli fields.
Hikmet Peltek planted broccoli and cauliflowers in a 7,000 square meter field with his two partners this year.
Other vegetables require less care, whereas for broccoli we need to water once a week. So there is more effort needed to grow broccoli.
We certainly get contributions from the beneficiaries. This is very important. This is valuable because it makes the producer to own the initiative and see himself sharing the risk.
Experts introduce broccoli not just to the producers, but also to the buyers, because marketing is just as important as production.
It's difficult to sell an unknown product at high prices. Once people get to know about it, they feel more comfortable purchasing it.
When we looked at central Kahramanmaraş and sub-provinces, we saw that it was only here in Göksun that they didn't know what broccoli was. In fact, people know broccoli in town centers, and it has a very good market.
If we can establish a smoothly running system both in the domestic market and elsewhere through the contacts, the villagers themselves will demand it without any need for incentives. At the moment, they're still waiting. Once they see they have made good money by the end of the season, we will include the surrounding villages and expand it.
At the end of the pipeline, there is the Çukurova Plain with its mild climate that is suitable for farming. In this region, where you reap 2 to 3 harvests a year, animal husbandry is also important. But the biggest problem of animal husbandry in Turkey is shortcomings in proper feeding, milk productivity, and enabling proper reproduction of animals. Par Consulting, implementing the BTC Community Investment Program in Çukurova, helped setting up a feed crushing unit in Gökçedam town to support animal husbandry. BTC, which helped establishing a development cooperative in the region before, took the lead in manufacturing quality animal feed and lowering feed prices.
They decided to support us. They purchased a feed crusher and a mixer. They provided the capital for it.
Farmers, who always used to buy feed from large firms, were initially hesitant.
There were a few who hesitated, but people are very happy as their animals are eating this feed. We have received no complaints so far. The quality of milk increased and we get 2 more kilos of milk per animal.
The cooperative, which also purchased a milk collection and cooling unit, started buying its members' milk at better prices. The enterprise, which provided great support to the farmers in the area of feed and milk, took on an important role for developing animal husbandry. Another entity that played a role in bringing to life the feed unit is Hemite Community Development and Entrepreneurship Association in the region. Mehmet Özer, who himself comes from a farmer family, is the chairman and receives technical support from BTC and Par Consulting.
When BTC and Par Consulting exit, will the feed unit be able to stand on its own feet?
Tabii yeni mütülesi ayakta duracak.
Of course, the feed unit will continue to exist. If necessary, we'll buy a second one. We developed a project as an association to reduce our costs and submit it to the United Nations Rural Development Fund. It is our biogas project. While we undertake that project, we will provide free energy for our cooperative. So we will put down feed costs. We will have an income from this as an association. We will convert the biogas we produce into energy, and we will use the waste material to manufacture organic manure. BTC and Par Consulting opened the pathway for us and provided necessary means. Naturally, this will continue wonderfully.
Haliyle fevkalade yürüyecek bu iş.